Get after for 6, 8 seconds. Guys, this is what we had to get. This ain't the one we want. You got that ball!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of the Laurel Leader Call Sports Show for 2026. I'm your host, Jack Fairchilds, of course, joined alongside Kevan Lindsey and my good friend and yours, Josh Guru Nichols. Guys, before we get into any of the sports stuff, did you guys have a good Christmas break? I mean, what all did everyone do during our hiatus?
I had a horrible break.
I can hear they're here to get you.
They are here to get us.
Probably both of us, because we both had horrible breaks.
Were they break-ins?
Jack, we cannot confirm nor deny something like that on this video. I mean, come on, dude.
It is incriminating. So that's a good point.
You know what was so bad for me? That I trusted y'all with parlays.
And that you sucked at picking college football.
I didn't pick the parlays. I just was asked, hey, do you want to be a part of it? And I jumped in. So I'm in the same boat as you.
I'm so far in the hole because of
Guru. I think our guru is the one who failed us on the parlays.
Just so
it
you
was
know,
a tag team effort between me and Murph. I'm not going to take all the blame, just 90% of it.
I know we didn't talk about this. I don't know if this will be season 2 or if we're continuing.
Still season 1.
Season
2 will start.
This is like volume 2 of season 1, like Stranger Things went on a break and then
this
came
is
back.
the mid-season premiere.
Okay, yeah. Well, I have a big screen in front of me in case anybody didn't know. So I have to lean over to look at Guru. And I lost $3,472 due to Guru's late night snacks picks.
That's impossible because I had a +4 margin of victory.
I didn't listen
I was
to you
21 and 17.
Well, then that goes back to being
That makes you an ignorant slut, doesn't it, Kevin?
You can take 82% of the blame.
No.
Anyway.
I was +4 units.
We shouldn't have to worry about 30-minute increments of me having to get up, Jack, because we have upgraded our equipment.
We have upgraded the equipment, so hopefully we have no reason for Kevin to bounce around as much. But
Thank God.
Who knows?
Shakes the whole table.
It does. But
No, we were just BSing. We did have a fun break. I think all of us had some much needed time off, recharge the batteries, and get ready for 2026. And, ooh, buddy, we got some good stuff coming down the pike today.
Yep, and we'll be previewing some of the good stuff in early 2026 that we'll be talking about. But before we get into any previews, we'll be talking a little bit more about the local area basketball and soccer teams because they're the sports that are going on right now. And, of course, when baseball and softball get rolling, we'll get into them as well. Kevin and I have seen a couple of the soccer teams. Kevin, you've seen a lot of the basketball teams as well.
No, I haven't.
You have not.
No,
You've only
I
seen the
haven't.
one.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's get it. We'll start with soccer because we've seen most of the teams. I was at South Jones versus Northeast Jones, so I saw both of those teams, girls and boys games. You were at West Jones, and you also have covered a South Jones game, so you've seen those two teams.
Right.
So, South Jones, of course, they're coming off of last season where they won the South State Championship game. Their record makes it look like they started off a little bit of a struggle, but if you go and look at some of the teams that they played, it really looks like Coach Gleason stacked the schedule pretty tough before they got into region play, and they seem to be cruising a little bit now. I think that this team's going to be really good like they were last year. I don't know if they've got another run to the state championship in them, but it wouldn't surprise me. Kevin, what did you see when you saw them play?
I saw them against Brookhaven right before the break, senior night. Saw the girls and the boys, of course, play. Girls look good. The boys look really good. Boys started out a little slow. Well, I say they started out slow. I think that they were much more talented than Brookhaven's team on paper. But one thing that stood out to me is how fast Brookhaven was. Similarly to football, I thought about, where they just have athletes all over the place. And even Coach Gleason talked about it, that they were just really fast. And maybe fundamentally they weren't there like South Jones is, right? But they were just so fast. I think it took South Jones by surprise a little bit. But they ended up winning that game handily and having a good senior night and all of that. And one of South Jones's girls, I don't have her name right in front of me, I'm sorry, but she scored her 100th goal. She had 4 goals in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So just had a great night there. The one I was at last night was West Jones, and I think we'll talk about that unless you want me to go right into it. But I was at West Jones for their girls and boys last night.
Well, Tuesday night, not last night.
Yeah, sorry. We're filming on Wednesday.
I don't have to tell the story.
We're breaking the fourth wall.
We are. It's happening. Before we get into West Jones, I'll talk a little bit about what I saw with Sal Jones girls. They're very, very, very talented. I saw them play. They won 2-1 in the game against Northeast that I was at. And it was a game where they controlled the game. But I'm here to tell you that Northeast goalkeeper, she stopped like 4 1-on-1s. That Garcia girl is special. From what I saw of her in goal that day, I definitely want to get back out there. I think I came in the next day to the office and was telling both of y'all need to see this girl play because she really is good. And when it came to the boys matchup, that game ended up in a tie. And I think South was still trying to find themselves. I think Northeast is going to be good, but they're a young team. I don't know how far they're going to go this year, but they're a very, very young team. And they got a tie against South. It was a hard-fought tie, so hats off to them. But I do think that those programs are on the right way. Now, I have not been to West yet. I hope to get to see them soon. Tell us, Kevin, what you saw at West Jones.
West Jones girls, unfortunately, I was at a council meeting Tuesday night. Sorry, Guru. I was at a council meeting Tuesday night, so I only caught a little bit of girls' action. Whenever I got there, I saw that there was what I thought about 10 minutes left in the game, but it was 10-0. It turns out it was the first half of the game, and they were playing Forest Hill, FYI. But it was 10-0 in that game, and they go to halftime and come out and play 10 more minutes, and of course it's forfeit after 7 goals. It's automatic forfeit of the game, basically. Forfeit the remaining time, I should say. Talking to Coach Matt Reed last night, he was proud of the way that they scored and got up quick and just kind of took care of it again on senior night. Both games I've been to have been both senior night games. Just like I said, he was proud of the way they jumped on it, got to see his young girls play, got to put them in quick. They've only got a couple of seniors on the team, so he got to see a lot of his young kids. Just talking to him, it's the same thing as it always is year in and year out in the South, of whether you're in Class 5A, Class 6A, whatever you might be in. Those coast teams are kind of who you look at that you're going to see in the playoffs, and you're going to see deep in the playoffs. It's just been, even whenever I left and went to Jasper County, that's usually the big stumbling block that we have in the Jones County area is the coast teams. They always tend to have our number, and I don't know if it's because they're trained in the sand or what. I don't know. They're just physical kids. But even then, they're in the driver's seat in district play. They've beaten George County already 4-2, and they'll go down there Monday night to play them. The boys and the girls will. That's pretty well going to decide the district. George County would have to have a goal differential. But Coach Reed, he was excited really about his girls and how they were playing. They were one game away from going to the state championship last year. George County knocked them out, eventually went on to win the state championship. As far as the boys go, It was kind of similar fashion. They got to 7 goals, and
And the boys are 13-1. They've
Yeah.
only been beaten once, and that was to South Jones, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and I actually talked to Coach Sullivan about that. He's like, that was just a great game. He felt like, not taking any credit away from South Jones, but he just felt like that they didn't play up to par from what they could have. So, obviously, Coach should feel that way.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you could be looking at an undefeated season. Again, it comes down to George County. They've already played once this year at West Jones, and they won that game 5-4. And he said it was a battle the entire game. So they're having to go down there Monday night, and it's going to be intense, is what he described it as. So, again, they're in the driver's seat right now. They've got a 1-goal lead, but anything could happen with that. So, be very interesting. But I'm excited just seeing he took all the seniors out with 5 minutes to go in the first half, I think it was, and every player that he had on the field was next year's team. And we were standing there, and he just kind of chirped over to me. He's like, "This is what you'll see next year. Every player that's starting will be my starters next year."
Was the girl at South, you couldn't remember her name, was it Cambry Freeman?
I think it was. I think it was Cambry. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we went back and gave credit there. You've not gotten to a soccer game yet, but I know you're looking forward to getting out there and seeing a couple of the action. It sounds like we've got 3 really good teams. Laurel is a bit of a struggle. That's why we haven't really gone into them much. But again, it seems like the county is going to be pretty well represented in the playoffs with at least 3 teams with a good shot at going to the state championship.
Yeah, I haven't been able to be out on the old pitch yet. Sit here, it's January the 8th. Regular season comes to an end at the end of this month, and they'll start playoffs at the 1st of February. Just looking overall on the girls' side, you got West Jones sitting at 10-2-2. Then South Jones checking in at 8-5-1, followed by Northeast 8-5-2, and unfortunately Laurel bringing up the rear at 2-11-1. And on the boys' side, like Jack said, West Jones is currently 13-1. Northeast Jones is 8-3-1. South Jones 7-6-1, and Laurel at 5-10. So, with all that being said, I mean, there's still possibilities for the Laurel boys and girls to make it in the playoffs, as they got multiple region games left to play. But it seems like, as of right now, on both sides for boys and girls, it looks like West Jones is the top 2 programs currently, but you can't, count out a South Jones team that played for a state title on the boys' side last year. And there's going to be a lot of good action as we hit the final stretch for the soccer regular season.
Now, Kevin, you've only been to 1 basketball game so far. Tell us what you saw at that one. I know that there's some solid teams in the area, but tell me what you saw at the matchup you were at.
Well, y'all both know I love basketball season. I love it. So I'm super excited to get out there in the gym and get to experience it. And boy, did I get to experience one on December the 30th. I got to watch the West Jones girls and Wayne County girls play, and it was a slobber knocker. It was amazing. Actually, and I want to give them credit too. Northeast Jones boys, I arrived there because I didn't realize it was a tournament. Had some other things going on and didn't realize it was a tournament. But Northeast Jones boys defeated Taylorsville boys. That game was ending. They go into overtime. Northeast Jones comes out with a win over the Tartars. So shout out to them. But the full game I got to watch was West Jones and Wayne County. Man, both of those teams, Wayne County, if you're a Wayne County fan, you better be excited, because West Jones, I think the girls are probably one of the top 6A teams in the state, and they were come within a hair of beating them. Talking to Coach Sharon Murray, she was excited to see some depth come out because some of their players got in foul trouble, and which led it to kind of go into overtime. They controlled the game for the most part until the fourth quarter. Wayne County just came storming back. and they go into overtime, and West Jones hits some clutch free throws, and that was the difference in the game, was the free throws. And West Jones comes out on top in that one. But just talking to Coach Murray, she was excited. She gave a ton of credit to Wayne County. They've only lost, as far as I know, I haven't checked the schedule, but I think they've only lost one game. And
That's correct.
and let me tell you, I can't wait to get out to the gym to see who they lost to, because it's the Laurel Lady Tornadoes, who are stacked.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I have heard nothing but good things. Dominant is the way I've heard them described. I know, Guru, you're working on getting a breakdown of our team's records and whatnot, so we'll throw to him here in a second. But yeah, I think what we've heard, Kevin, so far, as far as the Laurel girls, is that team is special, and has a trip to the big house. Looks like it should be in small, but I mean, it's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see Cinderellas pull off upsets all the time, so they can't take their eye off the prize at all.
Yeah, you know, this is a team that 2 years ago, they won a state championship. Last year, they were blowing everybody out last year. I came on late back from Pike County to get here, but I got to see them really late in the playoffs, actually in the big house. They were just dominating everyone. They get to the big house, and they fall by 2 in the semifinals to Canton. So I think it was 42-40, if I'm not mistaken. So anything can happen. But I'll say this about the Lady Tornadoes, is I think them falling in that game and the senior class that they have, it's hard for me to say right now, especially, that if they were to go to the big house tomorrow, that they would not win that game, because I think that they're just sitting there stewing over that upset loss at the big house, and Coach Cooley has got them like laser focused. They are razor sharp right now. Again, from what I heard, they got 2 dandy dozens. I mean, I don't think that's happened in Jones County ever. I don't think, having 2 dandy dozens on a team. So we've got some good basketball. The boys' side, Laurel's kind of getting it together. They made a trip to the big house. South Jones boys are really good this year, from what I understand. They'll probably be representing late. So there's some good basketball in Jones County, and right across the line in Jasper County, Heidelberg girls, they're really good. They're loaded again. Just talking with some people at the West Jones game, they were like, "Man, you missed out, because the Heidelberg girls are for real too," and they played Laurel pretty close, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. So. Gotcha. Guru, you ready to give us some breakdowns on what you were looking up over there?
I didn't pull all the records, since we'll have an extra week and a half between soccer regular season ending and basketball ending. But kind of going off of what Kevin was alluding to, our 3 strongest teams that were, well represented in Jackson last year, most likely will be on the boys' side. South Jones, currently a team that's 12-5. And then the girls, that's the 2 strongest teams. West Jones currently is 13-1, and according to Max Preps, they're the number 19 team in the state. And then Laurel, 13-2, ranked number 3, and both of those losses have come to the number 2 ranked Biloxi Lady Indians. So, that's a step up in classification, or 2 classifications for Laurel playing Biloxi. So, I know Coach Cooley very well, and like Kevin said, they got to be on a mission, not only to get back to the big house, but I know that they have unfinished business, and I wouldn't want to be in their way as they get ready to hit the meat of the district schedule and make another run, potentially not only to the big house, but to get another gold ball.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into previewing the big college football semifinal, Kevin, I understand you had some type of segment you wanted to roll out to myself. Guru's already rolling his eyes. He's not a fan of Kevin's new idea segment. And so this may be a one and done.
No, it would definitely will not be a one and done. So we want to have some fun with the show. That I want to see, because we've talked about it before, and it really got me to thinking whenever y'all were talking about this blue-gray bowl, and whenever y'all talk about some kick that goes wide, whatever, and the wind takes it, and
He acts like he's so much younger than
I mean, I am. Y'all talk about all this, and we're gonna discuss some Gen Z slang, and I want to see if y'all know it. So if y'all are in a dugout later, or if y'all are on the sidelines of a game, and y'all hear it, y'all don't get confused and worry about what the young people are talking about. I want to see if y'all know a couple of words. Okay, so here we go. The first one is this. Slay. Do y'all know what slay means? Don't be Googling it, Guru.
It sounds sus to me.
Yeah,
We
it's like
Google it.
domination.
Slay?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, yeah, it means to slay. Yeah, it means to dominate. It means to do something exceptionally well. Like if Taylor Swift is walking down the catwalk.
All right. He's already, I had said my New Year's resolution was to not mute Kevin this year, but it's already happened. He's already muted. Go ahead, Kev.
Do y'all know this one? Chuggy.
No.
Kevin.
Do y'all know this one? Do y'all know what a chuggy is?
What is it? Chuggy or chuggy? Because I mean,
Chuggy.
that seems mid to me.
No.
Somebody's got this Urban Dictionary or something
I
pulled
think
up
he's trying
on
to
his
cheat,
phone.
but it means that it's outdated. What about this, Jack?
You're just Delulu.
You're not pulling that off. Am I going to have to mute Guru now?
You're probably gonna have to move Guru. Jack, what if
Hold on,
somebody says
moot? He's gonna have to moot me.
Moot.
Maybe we will keep this segment
Jack?
as long as you keep the Riz going.
Oh my gosh, that's like 2022. Jack, what if
Kevin.
what if somebody says, an athlete comes up to you and says that they're sending you?
They're what?
They're sending you.
I'm just going to ignore them.
Like, no, they come up and they're like, man, you're sending me.
Yeah.
Like, if I said you're sending me, what does that mean?
It means that you're probably saying I'm sending you in an improper
No.
context.
It means that you're laughing uncontrollably. What if we say that Guru is extra?
You calling Guru fat?
That's so 2020.
Overly dramatic. Just
All right.
saying.
Really sounds sus. No cap.
No cap, for real, on God. Skibbity B, toilet.
All right. This show is now my show because I muted both of them for the absurdity. Guru over there with his phone propped up on a Coke can, pretending like he knows all this stuff.
Yeah, he had no clue.
That was just ick, Jack. What you just did. That was ick.
Ick.
So was this entire segment. So let's move on to the previews.
Man, that segment 8, dude. It was busting.
Jack
The fact that Kevin...
can't even look at Guru right now.
No, I can't. I can't because Guru's only
Yeet.
1 year younger than me. He does not know all these terms. He has an Urban Dictionary pulled up on his phone. Look, at least he's being honest.
You can't even see it. No, it's too bright.
Anyway, let's move on to before we get to our picks, let's preview these games that we've got coming up for the college football semifinals. When we get to our picks, we'll pick these, but we'll also be picking the NFL playoffs. We're not going to preview the NFL playoffs, just the college football games. The Fiesta Bowl is going to be, I think since this is going to be released on Thursday when you're watching this tonight, but for us as we're recording it tomorrow night, the Fiesta Bowl featuring Ole Miss versus Miami. This is going to be fun. I mean, I think Ole Miss is doing something special right now. And again, many of us would not have ever thought that a school from our state would even make it to the semifinals, let alone have a legitimate shot of making it to the championship game. Miami, of course, they took out an Ohio State team that we had a lot of question marks about. We weren't really sold on Ohio State based on their record. So Miami still has something to prove, because there's some folks saying that all they did was prove that Ohio State was overrated. I think this is going to be a fun matchup because Miami's got a heck of a defense, and I think that Ole Miss offense is going to get tested in this game. Kevin, what's your thought? Remember, don't pick it yet, but what's your thoughts going in this game?
You don't want me to pick it.
Not yet.
Okay.
That's why it says previews
Yeah.
at the top right there.
If you scroll down, we're picking it at the end of the show.
Oh, college picks.
Got you. Yeah, I just looking at it, I think that, Ole Miss getting by Georgia, I think speaks a lot. I don't want to say I thought Ohio State was overrated. It definitely surprised me that Ohio State lost to Miami. I think Miami's kind of like what you said, maybe playing with a chip on their shoulder. And I think Ole Miss is playing with a chip on their shoulder.
They definitely are.
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun matchup. I think the big thing that I'm looking at is Chambliss versus Beck.
It's going to be fun.
Will Carson Beck, that can probably play at his full potential, will he show up, or will he be inconsistent in this game? I think that's one of the things that I have and I want to see. Can Ole Miss just continue to score? Can they continue to keep that offensive production up? They put up 39 against Georgia. So can they keep that production up against a Miami team? That's what I'm looking at. And that all starts with Chambliss and then filters down to Lacey and so forth. But I'm really interested in seeing what Carson Beck will look like against that Ole Miss defense.
I think one thing that you can't discount Miami for is, they had to go to College Station in the opening round and get a big 10-7 road win over Texas A&M, which I don't think any of us saw that coming at all.
Did not.
And then you top that off with the win over a really good Ohio State team. Miami does have a chip on its shoulder because that was the team a lot of people said didn't deserve to be in the playoff, me being one of them, but they've proven everyone wrong, and they totally deserve to be there. With Ole Miss, it's offense, and if that front seven of Miami can get pressure on Chambliss, who is very, very good when you flush him out of the pocket, because not only is he really accurate throwing on the run, he can tuck it and pick up chunks of yards if he needs to. And it's the matchup is the Miami defense against the Ole Miss offense. Yep. I think Carson Beck he should have a solid game, probably similar to the game he played against Ohio State. His numbers might be even a little bit better because the Ole Miss defense isn't like the Texas A&M or Ohio State defenses that Beck has already defeated in this postseason. The biggest thing for Ole Miss is if they can keep their offense on the field and Miami's offense off the field and wear down that Miami defense, I think that is what gives Ole Miss the best opportunity to pull off the upset over the Hurricanes.
Next, we've got the Peach Bowl on Friday night. It's a rematch from a pretty good game earlier in the season, Indiana versus Oregon. Indiana beat them in Oregon, and now it's going to be on a neutral site. So you can't even say, well, they needed it on a neutral site because Oregon had the home field last time and weren't able to get it done against the Hoosiers. The Hoosiers look like another team that is on a mission, but of course it's really tough to beat the same team twice in 1 year. Oklahoma found that out when they played Alabama in the first round. Georgia found that out when they played Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl. So, we've seen this already in the playoffs. Again, not giving away who I'm picking or anything like that. But, what do you think, Kevin? I guess I'll lead with this question, and Guru, you can answer it after Kevin. What do you think the previous matchup? Do you think that means anything going into this game, or is this one of those just going to be a war? Throw out what happened before.
I think that you can take some things from that game, but I do think that that game being October, these two teams have changed a lot. I I told y'all that I was shocked uh, with the Oregon Texas Tech score, not because of Oregon's offense, but because of Oregon's defense. Like, and that's one thing that I've talked about before with Dan Lanning being one of my favorite coaches. Is I think that he has made that Oregon defense physical, where that was always a weakness. In the 2010s and all, they have these, high-powered offenses, but they always struggled whenever they met another good offensive team. And I think that that's something that stood out to me watching that game was their defense. And, there's some things that you can take. Mendoza had a fourth quarter touchdown late in that October game that allowed Indiana to pull away. Still a 10-point game though.
Yeah.
3 points before that touchdown to seal it. So, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I'm still sticking with Oregon.
Don't pick.
What I've said this. It's in the preseason picks, Jack.
But again, we have it laid out.
I know.
You save that.
You haven't let me finish my thought. I've still picked Oregon as my national championship winner. But what Indiana did to Alabama, there's red flags popping up everywhere. Now, I think Alabama was a fraud. I think they were frauds. I think they were frauds the whole season. Whatever. They didn't deserve to be in it.
No.
I mean, I think they were what they were. But the skull crushing that Indiana done relentlessly to Alabama was beautiful, and it was disgusting at the same time. It was like a car accident that I just couldn't stop watching. It's great.
Guru, what you think? How much do you think the previous matchup, or is it just a case where you throw everything from the past out because these two teams are now different?
Well, they are different to a degree. I mean, it's been, almost 2.5 months since they previously met in Eugene, with Indiana winning 30-20. Both teams have grown in different ways. I think you're going to see Oregon quarterback Dante Moore look a little different against Indiana. And Kevin talked about the Oregon defense, which has proven to be a lot better than they probably were the first time they met Indiana. But Indiana's defense is pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
And that was a 30-20 game. I don't think there's any way that we get to 50 total points in this game. I think it's excuse me. I think it's really going to be a war of attrition. It's one of those that might likely come down to the final possession of the game. But just to answer your question as a whole, I think there are things that you take away from that first meeting for both of these teams to watch for. There's going to be certain plays, certain formations that, you're going to key in on, and you're going to see, the offense shift out of something based on what the other team's defense is set up alignment-wise, and vice versa. The defense is going to flip out of whatever coverage they have set up when Indiana and Mendoza – he takes his two backs and sends them out wide. I think this one will be the lowest scoring of the two semifinal games.
Well, let's move into, before we get into our picks, my wild card question ties into the NFL playoffs.
Thank God it's not some Gen Z crap.
Well, no, I'm not asking that crap. You don't have to break out your phone to cheat again, Goo.
He might do it.
If you look down at the NFL playoffs, if you look at some of these records, you'll see division winners with terrible records, much like the Carolina Panthers, who are 8-9. But they get to host a first-round playoff game. To me, I've never liked that. I think that's stupid. You're double rewarding them. Their reward for winning the division is getting into the playoffs. They should not be hosting a playoff game because you've got an 8-9 Carolina team hosting a 12-5 LA Rams team. To me, I think it's ridiculous that this is a double reward for this team. You get in for winning, but now you also get to host a playoff game. Pittsburgh's the same way. They're 10-7, and they're hosting a 12-5 Houston team. Do you guys agree, or do you guys like the current setup? You win your division, you're in, and you get to host, or do you think that the NFL should relook that? Kevin, starting with you.
Does the NBA do it?
I think that the NBA does go based off a record.
Yeah, they go off record. They don't go by Atlantic division or anything like that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, the NBA, as much as I'm not a fan, they get that right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get that right, and it is a freaking shame that the Carolina Panthers are hosting the LA Rams. It is a freaking shame.
It's idiotic.
It is a freaking shame that Green Bay is having to travel to that dump in Chicago. I'm just kidding. I know they have a worse record.
Yeah.
But no, I think that one's the most glaring. You know, I remember when we had it, I think it was it the Seahawks?
Yeah.
They were 7-9.
Yep. And they beat the Saints
And they beat
on
the
the
Saints.
Marshawn Lynch run.
Yeah.
But the
Because
Saints should have been hosted.
Because home field matters so much.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, home field advantage matters in the NFL.
And that's why I call it a double reward.
Yeah. And the fact that Carolina is hosting this is just a joke. I'm for records go and do it like the NBA and be done with it. I didn't like the expansion of the playoffs anyway.
I don't
to be
either.
honest with you. I didn't like the expansion. It's just money. But yeah, the fact that's the one that stands out to me. I know that there's others, but Houston and Pittsburgh is not quite as bad as 12-5 and 8-9 and 12-5 and 10-7, but it's close. But I think honestly, I think the Houston and Pittsburgh one probably has more implication because Pittsburgh's fans are pretty rabid. I'm sure I could go to get a ticket at Carolina for $25.
Probably.
But yeah, I think they should take the NBA. Does the MLB do the same thing? It's if you
No, but I think
To a degree.
to a degree,
In the
but I
early
mean,
rounds.
but I mean, they don't. If you win your division and you play a wild card team with a better record, you're hosting.
Okay.
But in baseball, it's a little different because you're going through 162 games.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I mean,
Fair.
in the NFL, I don't like it. You know, we'll talk about baseball when we get to it because that is an interesting discussion too. Because you're talking about playoffs, I hate that they expanded as well.
Yeah.
Goo, what do you think? Do you think the NFL is wrong for double rewarding division champs?
Well, first off, I'm going to disagree on the expansion. I'm all for that. I didn't like two teams getting a bye in the wild card round of the playoffs. I was never a fan of that. I like the way it's set up now, but I totally agree. There's no reason whatsoever a team like Carolina that backed into the playoffs, that had to wait for Atlanta to beat New Orleans on Sunday to know that they were going to win the NFC South. And despite Pittsburgh eking by the Ravens on the 272nd regular season game of the year, which would be the regular season finale, that win over the Ravens, got them in the playoffs. It was kind of cool that the final game of the regular season was a do or die for both teams to get into the playoffs. But no, I agree. I think, you win your division, yes, you're in the playoffs. But when it comes down to who is hosting, I don't think the Rams should have to travel all the way across the country after a 12-5 season to go face a Carolina team that backed its way into the playoffs.
Didn't even have a winning record.
No, and I mean, that's all. Whether a team with a losing record should get in the playoffs or not, it's a whole another can of worms we'll get into it at some other point one day. But the Houston at Pittsburgh, I mean, Houston has a better record. I mean, I know it's only 2 games as compared to 4 games with the Rams and Panthers, but I think Houston should be hosting that game. The only thing I question on here is how some of these games are. I mean, out of all the games on this list, these 6 games, why do we have Houston at Pittsburgh as our Monday night feature game?
Well, while you bring that up, and this is worth discussing too before we get into the picks, the Packers at the Bears, that's the oldest rivalry in the NFL. Only the second time these two teams have met in the playoffs since the merger era. And that should be your marquee game. That game is relegated to Amazon Prime. So
that's the
it's not
thing
even on a network.
you and I were discussing yesterday, which was just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate it that the NFL has pushed its way into Saturday. We should be watching the 2 college football playoff games this Saturday, not the NFL playoffs. And despite that, because it is Saturday night, people don't have to get up and do anything other than go to church on Sunday morning. They don't have to get up as early and get ready to go to work and all that. So, I mean, I'm okay with that game being played as the primetime Saturday night game. But like you said, with it being on Prime, I mean, I know you and I both have it, but I mean, that's dumb.
It's a waste of a marquee matchup.
I'll say this, be a NASCAR fan. I have to go hunt down like 6 different networks, but I'll say this about Prime's coverage. I really like their coverage.
Oh, I'm not knocking their coverage. I'm just knocking the fact that a playoff game is not easily accessible.
I wish, like I told you, I wish if they're going to do that, they would at least make it free.
Yeah.
Like just create an Amazon account.
Yeah.
And then you can watch it. And maybe they put ads in it. Like maybe they put their own ads in it.
Oh, there are going to be ads in it because there are ads in every Amazon.
I mean, like
broadcast.
if you're, if you're not a subscriber, put a 30. I don't know how you would do it, but freaking make it free for everybody. Just
or you sign up and you pay 99 cents for the one day for that game, and there's no hidden nothing behind it. They're not going to turn around and charge you a monthly fee. It's a one-time payment, 99 cents, and you watch that game. When that game's over, you don't have access to Amazon Prime if you don't further your subscription.
Yep.
But what do we know?
I mean, if it were up to us, they'd still be on broadcast networks.
Well, and 2, it goes to what we all do. If a friend of mine or a family member of mine that doesn't have Prime wants to use my login to watch that game, am I going to send it to him? Hell yeah, I'm going to send it to him.
I don't do that.
You a lot.
I have integrity.
Oh my God. He might need to be
Kevin,
muted.
didn't you use one of my logins once?
No, I've never used that. Never done that. I'm a man of integrity.
Yeah, that grin says otherwise. Let's start picking these games. Now, for the NFL games, we're just going to go in the order in which they're being played. When we get to college, of course, we'll have our game of the week there. But the first matchup on Saturday is the LA Rams at the losing record Carolina Panthers. LA 12-5. They've been a good team all season. They looked like for a while like they might have been the front runners. They kind of had a couple of losses closer to the end that cost them. But I don't see Carolina being able to hang with the LA Rams. They got too good of an offense. I think the LA Rams are going to make sure that Carolina finishes the season with 10 losses.
Same. I'm picking the Rams in this one. I think Stafford's the MVP, and I think that the Rams are serious Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah,
not in the division.
I would not disagree with that statement with them being a Super Bowl contender at all. And I think they're going to take it to Carolina, team that doesn't even deserve to be hosting a game like we've already said. And I hope the Rams win by 80.
Next, we've got the Green Bay Packers 9-7-1 at the Chicago Bears, who are 11-6. It came out today that they are saying there should be snow falling during this game, which again adds to what makes this rivalry so incredible in the first place. The Packers and the Bears split in the regular season, but the Packers should realistically be 2-0 because they had an epic collapse against the Bears in the second matchup. Both teams kind of fell into the playoffs if you look at the way that their last several games. But of course, Green Bay had been without quarterback Jordan Love. Their running back Jacobs has been hurt. So
Parsons went down.
Parsons is done for the year. But the Packers are getting Jacobs and they're getting Love back this week. So, you're going into Chicago, a place that they've had great success in the past at, but Chicago's a hungry team going into this game. This is a tough one to pick. I'm I'm going not just with my heart, but I'm going with history. I say the Packers in the Bears season.
I'm glad you have more faith than what I do because the Green Bay is a walking ER right now, and they have been this year. I think they've got to be one of the most snake-bitten teams in the league. I understand. I was not watching the second game. I was down the coast, the Harbor Lights, trying to stay off my phone, keep from losing my mind. But I think that the Bears are just the better team. I think being at home is going to be the catalyst in that one. It's going to be a classic game in the snow. It's not going to be a lot of scoring and things like that. One big thing I saw with Chicago, they're getting one of their promising receivers, Dunze, I think is how you say his name. They're getting him back. I just think that Green Bay is too much on a downward trend. So as much as I hate it, I'm picking the Bears.
It's NFL playoffs. I don't really care that much. I don't like the Bears. I despise Caleb Williams. I'm pulling for the Packers to get the win. That's all I have to say about that.
Next, we've got go to our Sunday games. Buffalo 12-5, traveling to 13-4 Jacksonville. Buffalo was, if y'all remember back to the start season, that was my team to win the Super Bowl, my pick. I'm not sure. I'm still convinced they're going to be the team to win the Super Bowl this year, but I think we'll figure it out, get past Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville has been better this year, but I just don't believe in them yet, Kev.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I, as a Josh Allen fan, if he doesn't go to the Super Bowl this year, he's a choker. You don't have Lamar Jackson. You don't have Patrick Mahomes. You really don't have anything crazy in your way as far as that rival quarterback. It's time to get it done. I'm going to pick Buffalo, but it would not shock me if Jacksonville takes them out. A really good team.
Yeah, I agree with Jack. That 13-4 record, I mean, we'd have to look into the minutia of their schedule, which I'm not going to waste my time on. And I wish I could remember who me and Kevin picked. Did you pick Green Bay?
He did.
I can't remember. I jokingly said Saints, and then I can't remember who I said.
Green Bay and Buffalo is what I had.
I mean, I'm all on with the Bills Mafia. I agree with Kevin. This is set up perfectly for Josh Allen, with Mahomes out, with two-time MVP Lamar Jackson and the Ravens out. I'm just going to ride with Buffalo until proven otherwise.
You picked the Bengals.
That's right. That's who you picked.
Yeah, that one went well, didn't it?
Very well, huh? That's a sad story in itself. I mean, the injury to Burrows, the fact that they were buried before. I mean, that's a franchise that in his second year, when they made the Super Bowl, I really thought would be further along than where they're at today. But we'll save that discussion for another day too. Next, we've got San Francisco 13-4 at the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles 11-6 going in this game. San Francisco's been good. Now they weren't able to win the division. They lost to the Seahawks going into the final game of the year. Seahawks ended up getting the first round bye and the division victory as a result. But I still think San Francisco's solid. This Philadelphia team, I know they're the defending champ guys, but they've been so inconsistent this year. I think San Francisco wins a boring game where they just do all the little right things, hit their checkdowns right, do the things San Francisco does, and San Francisco wins again.
Hate both teams. Can't stand Philadelphia fans. Give me San Fran.
Well, this is getting boring. Philadelphia's been up and down all year. Don't care that they're playing at home. No, it's a long cross-country trip for San Francisco, but I like the combination of Purdy and CMC to go on the road and get it done in Philly. Go Niners.
And next we've got 11-6 LA Chargers at the 14-3 New England Patriots. New England making their first appearance since Belichick moved on from the franchise. they've looked really, really solid this year, and they're getting to host a playoff game. LA, another one of those teams that's inconsistent. You talk about a quarterback that people had so much high hopes for, thought that putting Herbert with Harbaugh was going to be the elevator, but here they are in the wild card round, and I think they're going to lose because I think New England up there at home, I think they take care of business and beat the Chargers.
This one's tough, man. On one hand, probably one of the most handsome quarterbacks in the league with Justin Herbert. He's a guy that's just handsome dude, man. He is. He's a handsome dude.
All right. I'm not sure Kevin gets to pick now. He's gone on too much about the handsomeness of Herbert there. But go ahead, Kevin.
No,
Let's move
I like
past it.
Herbert. I like Herbert.
We can tell. We can tell.
No, all jokes aside, I wanted Herbert in Green Bay. I was hoping that they would draft him. I was hoping he would fall down and we would grab him. He's just snake bit on that Chargers team. It's Phillip Rivers all over again, man. Get PTSD. I always wanted Rivers to make it, and he just never could. But on the other hand, there's New England sitting there. I like Vrabel. Drake May won my fantasy football championship for me this year. Basically, I put him in and I drafted Burrow, and Burrow got me on the IR. So I picked up Drake May off waivers, and he led me to the promised land. Gosh, I want the Chargers to pull the upset. I'm gonna pick them.
I mean, this isn't really like a life or death thing.
Look, man, I know,
like
but you got the handsome Herbert and then
50 people that are going to see this.
Yeah. And they're all going to realize how gay you are for Herbert.
Hey, we don't call it. Okay.
I mean, is Drake May not a handsome dude?
Yeah, but he's like, doesn't have the hair.
Don't make him
The
elaborate.
flowing hair. And Herbert's dating like Madison. I think Madison Beer.
Weird.
Dude's pulling, man.
Just
pulling game.
Just
bro.
give me the Patriots and move on.
Yeah, that was way too long. Next, you've got the Monday night game. Houston 12-5 at 10-7 Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers, old man Rodgers on under center for Pittsburgh. Houston, really strong team this year, but I think Rodgers got one more run in him. Give me the Steelers at home.
I would say that I want Rodgers to ride off in the sunset a winner, but Will Anderson's on the other side of that ball, and that is being Rodgers' Achilles heel. Is a good defensive front. A good stiff D just ruins him. So,
Does it really?
I'm taking Houston. Let's move on, man. I'm taking Houston, bro. I'm taking Houston. Y'all are awful. Y'all are awful.
My mom is a big Steelers fan, so go Pittsburgh.
All right, now comes to the picks that we've been waiting on. We'll start with the Peach Bowl being played on Friday night. Indiana versus Oregon. Rematch game, as we already talked about in the preview game. Oregon looks really good right now, but Indiana is the only team with a bye in the playoffs in the 2 years that advanced. They're the only one that has gotten the win. Give me Signetti. I think he's got those boys dialed in. I think it's going to be another classic. This game is tough to pick. But just give me Indiana. They may be a team of destiny this year.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough game. Ole Miss and Miami. I'm sorry. You got it listed wrong.
I know. But
Indiana and Oregon. This is gonna be a great game.
Big D.
I've already spoiled it for who I thought was gonna win and who I think is gonna win the Natty. But I could be wrong. I was wrong for our playoff picks. It's going to be a tough one. I'm like Guru. I don't see this one get to 50.
No.
I don't. I think that both of these teams are peaking at the right time. But Indiana is going to just I'm going to pick Oregon. I'm going to pick Oregon by 3.
Is it because of that stiff D again is going to?
It's possible.
It's possible.
I think Oregon's going to get the tip over.
Yeah, over under sits at 48.5. So even Vegas kind of agrees with our thought on this one not getting a 50. Going back to your original question about how much the first meeting back in October means, I think we're going to see, like I already said, 2 totally different looking teams. It's going to be a defensive battle. It's cliche, but there's going to be a key turnover, whether it be a fumble, interception, a block kick. There's going to be one of those game-changing moments that we'll look back on and say, that's why team Y beat team Z. And, you know, it's been very impressive what Cignetti has done at Indiana over the past 2 seasons. Saw a report today where, and I had no clue that Mark Cuban was an Indiana alumnus, and he's fixing to be a big-time donor into their NIL program there. And also, Indiana has the largest alumni base of any school in the country at 860,000. Never would have picked them out of any school.
You didn't know that?
Shut up. With all that said, it's hard to beat the same team twice in 1 year. Indiana's a great Cinderella story, just like another team we're about to talk about. But at the end of the day, quack, quack.
Now we get to our game of the week, the Fiesta Bowl, being played on Thursday or tonight when this episode is being released. Ole Miss versus Miami. 2 teams with a chip on their shoulder. Miami's heard multiple people say they don't belong in the playoffs. Ole Miss has heard multiple people say they can't do it without Lane Kiffin. Now these 2 teams square off, and it's going to be a dynamic offense versus a tough defense. It's exciting for our state. I'm sure you both have seen some of the photos of Ole Miss fans at the Jackson Airport already getting up there for tonight's game when this is released. It's this is a tough game to pick, but I do think the Rebels are going to get it done. I do. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think they're going to put up as many points as they did against Georgia, but I think Ole Miss gets to the national championship and beats Miami in this game. Kevin?
Where's the Fiesta Bowl being played?
Arizona.
Tempe.
Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or Glendale.
Travel for
Glendale.
both teams.
What does the Fiesta usually involve?
Party.
Chips and salsa.
Party. Chips and salsa.
Tostitos
What is
Fiesta
plentiful
Bowl.
in Mississippi?
What's that?
What is plentiful in Mississippi?
The same
Cotton.
thing that's plentiful in Miami.
No. Mexican restaurants. But
Hell does that have to do with the Miami Ole Miss game?
He's stretching.
no, I'm not. But where is the national championship being played?
Miami.
Who is played in the Fiesta Bowl?
Ole Miss.
Who's the other team?
Miami.
Miami beats Ole Miss to go play the national championship in Miami, despite the abundance of Mexican restaurants in Mississippi, which correlates with the Fiesta. I'm picking Miami.
Kevin did something weird before the show today. I'm not sure about Kevin today. Go ahead, Guru.
Try that.
You got to follow that. I'm the lucky one who gets to go before him. You have to follow that.
No, I always have ammunition. We all know my disdain towards anything Ole Miss, despite what's hanging around my neck on my necklace. But, man, I never saw this coming. Even though they get into the playoff 11-1, we all knew that Tulane game wasn't going to be much of a game.
Yeah.
Despite what's said about rematches, we all agreed Tulane and JMU had no business being in the playoffs.
Yep.
Different story, different day. Ole Miss took care of business there. The way they came back against Georgia is a whole different can of worms.
Yes, it is.
That puts Miami on alert all the way around. Chambliss is dynamic. Lacey set the school record for rushing touchdowns this year in a single season. Sure, Kiffin's not there, but Charlie Weiss Jr. is there. Pete Golding are there. I mean, it takes more than just the head coach to win a ball game. On the flip side, you got Miami, who was doubted, not supposed to be in the playoff, don't deserve it. And then they just go out and they keep beating better competition. They beat Texas A&M on the road. They beat Ohio State, who everybody expected to at least be in the driver's seat to repeat as national champions. 2 weekends ago, before Miami played Ohio State, and you both were in my college pick'em or Capital One Bowl Mania pick'em on ESPN app. I'd already picked Ohio State to win that game. And this was a Friday night after coming back from doing delivery. Get home, normal routine, whether we get done and home at 11 at night or 2 o'clock Saturday morning. I turn on ESPN. ESPN 30 for 30. Part 2, all about the U.
Mm-hmm.
I said, is this an omen? I sat on it all day Saturday. Kickoff for the Ohio State-Miami game was 6:30. 6 o'clock, I picked up my phone, went on the ESPN app, and I changed from Ohio State to Miami on my pick'em. Now I'm just sitting one game out of first place. However, it's been a golden year for Ole Miss. Very golden. But at the end of the day, it's still all about the U. Give me the Canes, baby.
There you have it. That's going to be interesting to see. We didn't have any unanimous picks in the college game, so that's good for every team involved, I think. Goodness, I mean, it's going to be some good games. I mean, I think that's one thing we can all take away, that these matchups are going to be phenomenal.
And not only that, whichever two teams advance to the national championship game, they're going to give us one hell of a national championship game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, me personally, I want to see an Ole Miss Indiana matchup, because I think that matchup just feels a little more compelling for whatever reason. But Oregon's never won a championship. The U's been down for so long. So, I mean, you give us that matchup, it'll be fun. Give us an Ole Miss Oregon, it'd be fun. A Miami Indiana matchup. Any of those matchups could be fun. But I'm just, like I said, I'm ready to watch some football, ready to see what's going to come and who we're going to get to see in these next rounds. It's going to be a lot of fun, people. I hope that you have your popcorn ready, to quote a former Ole Miss coach and former Cowboys wide receiver. But anyway, anything you guys want to add before we sign this one off, Kevin?
You know what I'm ready for? Ready for the hardwood, baby. I'm ready for high school basketball. I'm ready for the gym to be jumping and the road to the big house. That's what I'm ready for.
I just thank God he didn't say flowing hair.
I love his passion sometimes.
Yeah.
Rock on. Just rock on. That's all I got.
Well, guys, I've been your host, Jack Fairchilds, and for Kevan Lindsey and Josh Guru Nichols, thank you guys again for watching, and we'll be back again next week.